me. I am here to let you guys know my story. On the page, I see a lot of people who are telling people how they lost weight, how they got interested in the military, and everything. So I decided I was gonna make a video because my story is pretty long. But I hope you guys find something in it that inspires you or makes you happy or something. I don't know. So I'm gonna start with the beginning of my life because I don't really know a better place to start. I was born December 15th, 1994, and I was born to my mother and father, obviously. It's not like I was hatched. And 2 years later, my brothers were born. They were twins, Jordan and Ross. Jordan was born with hypoplastic left heart syndrome, which is like where your heart isn't fully formed. It's a lot more common than it really should be. I really wish it wasn't common, but anyway, my parents ended up getting divorced at around when I was 4, I think, or around then. My brother Jordan died when I was around 5, 2 weeks before I turned 5. So, beginning of my life really wasn't that great. I just, pretty rough stuff went on. Then I turned 8. My mom got remarried to my stepfather, and then when I was 2 weeks from being 11, my sister was born. She was born on the day that my brother died, on purpose, so that day would no longer be sad, it would be happy. So, when I was growing up, I went to, aside from everything else that was going on, I went to a private school. Pretty normal life. It was a religious school, private religious. So half the day I would learn English, half the day I would learn Hebrew. So I got both of those going on at the same time, K through 5. And then for 6th grade, my mom decided to put me into public school. It was a really hard transition for me for many reasons. At my private school, I had really become accustomed to people acting a certain way, people dressing a certain way, not having to deal with social stigmas because there was only 10 to 15 people in my class, in my grade. So when I ended up going to middle school, I still dressed the same way, which is ankle length skirts, long sleeve shirts to cover everything, high shirts, nothing showing pretty much. And the kids really didn't like that. They would ask me if my grandmother dressed me or whatever. And it didn't help that my whole childhood from 5 until that point, or until today really, I had really battled with my body proportion and my weight. I remember my grandmother going shopping with me, trying to get me to wear a pair of jeans, and I just couldn't fit into them because they just weren't comfortable for me to try on. So I just wore skirts and sweatpants a lot, or dresses. I didn't care. So the kids were pretty mean to me, but then eventually my body started proportioning itself out, and I dressed really well for 7th grade. Kind of like a hooker. Anyway, fast forward to high school. I joined color guard, I joined theater, I joined stage managerness, whatever the heck you want to call it. I was around everywhere. Any club, anything, anybody needed anything, I was there. That was me throughout high school. I was the socially popular kid, not the one that was popular, oh my gosh, did you hear about Hoosie Flotsy and her boyfriend? They're hooking up in the car. No, not that kind of popular, the kind that was oh yeah, Brittany Pressner does that. And I'm oh yeah. Anyway, so I did that for until middle of junior year. January 16th, a week before midterm started, I got hit in the head at color guard practice by a rifle. Someone swung it up into my face and hit my eye right here. And I fell back on my head on the gym floor, here and here. So hit here and there. So I got a double concussion. I went to many doctors until they finally decided it was a moderate to severe brain injury. When this happened, I had extreme memory loss. I couldn't remember. Somebody told me something 2 minutes ago. Well, it wasn't that extreme. Like maybe an hour ago. It didn't exist to me. I couldn't read because the letters just didn't make sense to me. The words, I could read the words, they just didn't mean anything. I had double vision. I had headaches constantly, and anytime I would lay down, stand up, lay down, stand up, I would get dizzy. So my whole entire life was really shaken up, quite literally. Then for 4 months after that, until May or April, I was on bed rest. I only went out a couple times. A lot of my friends left me. They thought I was pregnant. They thought I was on a drug charge. Thought I went to Vegas and became a stripper. I don't know. So I didn't really have a lot of friends. I only had a select few that came and actually visited me the whole time that I was home. Then when I finally got back to school, April 27th, I only went for a half day. And I tried going back for a full day, and it just did not work out for me. I was too overloaded. I couldn't think. So they cut me back on a lot of my classes, including the ones that I absolutely loved. Physics, well, they didn't cut me from trig, but they cut me from my robotics, they cut me from my theater, they cut me from all of my classes that I actually loved. The only classes I had were trig, English, and history, in a study hall. Don't know why I even had to stay for the study hall. Because I slept anyway, so what I would have done at home. So I ended up talking to my guidance counselor, and they discussed and thought about, what if I graduated early? I only needed 2 classes, history and English. I said, let's go for it. I don't want to be here anymore. I'm being bullied too much. Let's just get out of here. So I did. I went to summer school for 2 months and ended up graduating a year early ahead of my peers who, that never even seemed possible, especially with a brain injury. This is a person who can't read, ended up passing summer school. It was actually a really great experience, though. I absolutely loved it. And then I went to college for my freshman year, and I didn't do too well. I didn't do bad. I just didn't do well personally. I didn't learn anything, and that was really the sad part for me. But halfway through my fall semester, my boyfriend graduated Navy boot camp, and I absolutely fell in love with Navy instead of Air Force because I always wanted to join the Air Force and become a doctor. So, in November around Thanksgiving, I decided to start working out, but I still was having side effects from my brain injury. I couldn't really run for extended periods of time. I couldn't really do anything because anything would make me dizzy, anything would make me sick. I would get headaches a lot, so I just ended up not doing a lot of things. So eventually, I finally got cleared in around May of this year, and cleared to do whatever I wanted in life, and I was so happy to finally achieve that point where I didn't have headaches, I didn't have double vision, I could actually read again. Because a year and a half without reading to me was like death. I love to read. Anyway, that day I got cleared from the doctor. I went to the recruiter who told me that I wasn't part of his Navy. I didn't look like parts of his Navy. I wouldn't belong in his Navy. All about his Navy. And it really turned me off. And then I found this page, and I'm so thankful for that because, y'all just make me smile every day about our goofy stories or about, oh hey, here's my Halloween costume. Because, y'all are like my family, and I really appreciated talking to you guys and being able to do that. So, I guess that's my life in a short nutshell. And I have 8% body fat to lose. I've already lost 20 pounds in 12%. So I think I'm doing pretty well. I hope. Because during the whole me being on bed rest, I gained about 50 pounds in a period of just under 5 months. And my body did not take that well. So I'm getting back there. And I hope that y'all found this inspirational or funny to hear me talk about myself and not remember what to say because I'm just talking to a computer, which is eventually leading to you. Alright, bye guys!